To add routing to our application, we use Angular's component router. Using the component router requires a few setup steps. Here is a list of them so we know what's involved, and then we'll demo each step. Include the Angular 2 router script. Define the base element, and register router providers. We are back in the sample application with the index.html file open. The component router is not built into Angular 2 Core and is not included in the main Angular script file. It's an optional service in its own library, Angular 2/router. So our first step is to add the script tag for the component router library to our index.html file. While we are here, let's add the base element just after the head tag. This element tells the router how to compose the navigation URLs. By default, Angular uses HTML5 style URLs, which don't require the hash symbol to indicate local navigation. Since the app folder is the application root, we'll set the href for the base tag to /. Now let's open our app component. Similar to HTTP in the last module, the Angular router has several built-in services that assist with using routing. We want our app component to host our main routes, so we'll register the routing providers in the app component. Because there are several services involved with routing, Angular router provides a constant that defines the set of router providers, router_providers. We import that constant here and register the providers here. Let's do one more thing to set up for routing. The product detail component should ultimately look like this. But we want to focus on routing, not building another component. So let's just create a shell for the product detail component so we can route to it. In the products folder, create a new file called product-detail.component.ts and a new template called product-detail.component.html. In the HTML file, put some placeholder text and use interpolation to bind a page title, so we'll have something to display on the page. Now how about the component? Recall how to build the basics of a component? Consider pausing the video now and creating a first cut of the product detail component with a page title property. Continue the video when you want to see my solution. Here's what I came up with for the first cut of the product detail component. We import the component decorator. We export the product detail component class and define a page title property. And we decorate the class with the component decorator, defining our view using template URL. Is this close to what you came up with? Notice that I don't have a selector property here. The selector property is only required if the component will be nested within another component, and we don't need to nest this component. We'll instead display the component's view as part of routing. With that, we are ready to configure some routes.